Bluff City Media presents the No Bluffin podcast. Stepping up to the microphone are your hosts, Christian Ingram and Evan Hayes. Now, let's get to the show.
Grizz Nation, what's going on? I'm Chris Ingram.
I'm Evan Hayes.
And welcome back to the No Bluffin podcast, man. We're glad to be back for another week, man. Had a very fire episode last week.
Yes, we did. Fire emojis everywhere.
Man, flaming. Appreciate everybody feedback on it. And we're long. We're super long.
Little too long. That's on us. But y'all know when the conversation starts flowing, it just get on.
It's hard to cut it off.
It's hard to cut it off. We gonna try to keep this one a little shorter than 140. 125, man. I'm mess with y'all. But nah,
Kenny gonna kill us, man. Don't say that.
Kenny gonna get mad at us, man. We can't be talking this. We can't be talking. We ain't preaching out here. This ain't no sermon, but
right.
We appreciate all the feedback. We got a lot of positive feedback from our last episode, but we still trying to figure everything out. The last week was the first step, and this week gonna get better and weeks on in. So appreciate all. We just another good one today, though, for sure.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited today. Before y'all do anything, make sure y'all go ahead and give us a follow on Twitter on our main page, No Bluffin Podcast. No Bluffin Pod. I got to say that. I always say the full thing. No Bluffin Pod. You got my Twitter handle. You got Evan's Twitter handle there as well. So go and give us a follow, man. If you're not already, definitely got to tap into Bluff City Media. If you're not already, make sure you subscribe on YouTube so you can catch all of these, live videos that we drop. And all the other content that we have, man. So it's some amazing content. It's a little bit of something for everybody, honestly. Like, this show, if this your first time tapping in, it may not be for you, and that's okay. We appreciate you. Hopefully when you find something else on the network that's for you, but definitely go ahead and share to get the message out there and get this great content. Also, if you're not already, you can become a part of our Discord.
Yes, you can.
Bluff City Media Discord. It's amazing. Become an insider for $5. You get access to the Discord, a bunch of just
insider content,
all of that. And I think we just started a brand new YouTube section of that, so you're gonna get just some exclusive videos that you wouldn't get just tapping in for free on YouTube, almost on some Patreon type stuff. So
basically,
but make sure y'all tap in.
It's a lot of great content there. I advise all of y'all to pay that little $5, and you get to see us a little more and everyone else working at Bluff City a little bit more. And we can all have some fun together.
Yep. Well, man, we're going to hop into it, Evan. Before we do, man, just how was your week? I know like I said, we ain't tapped in since late last week, except, a couple of texts in here, man. But how was your week? I know you back in Memphis, and so just talk about that real quick.
Yeah, week was cool. Week of school was all right. But I know everybody know I don't live in Memphis anymore. I'm in college, but I was able to come home for this weekend since Easter weekend, had a little long weekend. So week was pretty good. I'm glad I was able to come home. See the fam, so I really can't complain too much. But, a lot of moving parts all the time when it comes to family and all that. But couldn't ask for anything better. But overall, pretty decent week. How about you, bro?
Man, still trying to adjust to this baby number 2 life. The sleep schedule is all the way off.
Over the place.
It's all over the place. We was out of the track meet this weekend, long time. Since I've been doing that, I know you do this every week. I didn't run it all, but me just being there was like, man, I miss it and I don't miss it at the same time.
I feel that. No, I feel that for sure. Now, I love track to the day I die, and I still do it. But high school track meets, for everybody that know, can go on forever. It can be 15 heats of every race, and you'll be there from 8 o'clock to 8 o'clock at night. It's literally a sun up to sundown type thing. So I commend Chris and all the people that indulge in track and field.
Man,
because it is a grown man's sport to deal with all the time. So I commend. I'm eating my white cake right now, being in college, running college track, because this is my one free weekend, and just listening to you say what you had to go through today makes me appreciate what I'm going through right now, for sure.
Yeah, y'all be in and out, man. Today is just, it's too much participation trophy stuff. Everybody get to run whatever they want to run, and man, my nephew, he got done with that 200-meter dash. We was at the gateway.
The 200 is the second last event too, so I know y'all was done after that. Oh, I know y'all was
this
sick.
one was this is my first time hearing this, and you've been in it, tapped in longer than more recent than I have.
Yeah.
I never heard, or at least I don't remember a 3200. I remember the 1600.
No, that's a newer thing they put in maybe last 10, 15 years, maybe. Yeah, that's
What
just
is going on?
Yeah, that's just 8 laps now, and I don't really understand the reason why.
No run cross country if you want to do all that, bro.
And that's the reason why they wanted to mend the gap between cross country and track a little bit more, so they had to add the 3200. So yeah, I don't mess with it either.
So they added that, like you said, usually it's the 200, and I want to say then it ends on the 4x4 usually,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, them folks said first call for the 3200. That's like, man, it's time to
go.
I wanted to see the 4x4, just you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's usually lit.
4x4
lit. I was like, nah, bro, we out of here. Like, nephew, don't like. Let's dip. I'm hungry.
Let's hit the car, hit the food. Everybody tired. Let's get home. Yeah. Nah, I feel you for sure. So shout out your nephew. He a sprinter too. So shout out your nephew too.
Yes, sir. Shout out to him, man. But we're gonna go ahead and get into the No Bluffin news of the week. Got some topics that we want to touch on, some stuff that we may have kind of started on last week too. But just kind of picking up. Evan, I'm gonna actually let the first one start off with you, man, because me as a former football player, I know how I feel about it. We athletes, so we can kind of touch on all kind of topics. So I want to kind of just get your spin on it, man, on this NFL news that dropped this week. It's kind of just weird to me all the way around.
So yeah, I think this dropped on Monday or Tuesday. It dropped early in the week. I can't remember which day, but the NFL is banning the hip drop tackle. And when I first saw it, I'm like, so what exactly is a hip drop tackle? Because I'm like, so they banning like just regular tackle. So then I looked it up. So just everybody know the textbook definition. The NFL defines a hip drop tackle as a defender who grabs the runner with both hands or wraps with both arms and unweights himself by swiveling and dropping his hips and or landing on and trapping the runner's legs. That's a lot of malarkey and bull jive to let you know that's basically if a player is in front of you, you can't tackle him in a proper way anymore. And I personally can't stand it. Like, we understand the NFL is a very violent game. There's been studies that shown like the bad ramifications of football, but it's football. Like, what more can the NFL can do until we just get to NFL players playing flag football? Like, we understand a few guys got hurt last, like Mark Andrews got hurt last year with that same tackle. Pat Mahomes, he hurt his ankle last year. I know that was the big one. When the NFL saw that, it was like, we can't have Pat Mahomes get hurt. We can't have our golden boy. God forbid if Pat Mahomes get hurt. So, like, I get the player safety thing, and I'm all for player safety, but it's a line, And all this is doing is just maximizing offense. Like, so what you want guys to do now? If Tyreek Hill gets to doing a gasser and get 5 years on him, how you expect to tackle him now? Like, what can they do? Literally jump on their backs and try to just get them on a piggyback ride for the next 5 years till they fall? Like, so that's my take. So what you think about it? Because I can't stand it at all, man.
Like you said, bro, like they might as well go ahead and just make it the flag league at this point. I mean, they already doing the All-Star game in flag format, which is kind of dope. I understand it. Like, as a kid growing up watching it, yes, I was playing it, but you don't understand like just the ramifications of it all as a kid. And so, like, I just love seeing, the Pro Bowl after the Super Bowl, them guys going out to Hawaii and they just knocking each other head off to a certain degree. But like, everything's different now. The NBA All-Star game is trash because everybody's too cool for school. It started to get that way with the NFL. So I understand that on the All-Star perspective, and I actually think it's really dope. But as far as in the actual games, bro, like I'm not seeing where they're going with this at all. And like you were saying, what other method, the way that you described it, I've listened to some other podcasts that have brought it up and talked about it as well, saying the same thing. Like, I guess y'all want us just to focus on shoestring tackles from behind at this point. And if you can't get him, he gone. I don't know, bro. Like, I'm listening to so many defenders, and like they're just saying, what more do you want us to do? Like, how can we do our jobs? The D linemen can't sack quarterbacks now because if you put your weight on the quarterback, then that's a 15-yard penalty. Right. Not the DBs and the linebackers now, they can't tackle guys from behind now. Yep.
What more? I get ratings, and the ratings say more points equals more viewers and all that. Right. But it's I'm gonna say at least half football fans that understand the game, we like to see good defensive plays. Exactly. I love when Ed Reed used to come across the middle of a dude. If you throw a post across the middle, Ed Reed knock your head off. Right. I like when Troy Polamalu used to do that type of stuff.
Right.
Them days are unfortunately becoming less and less likely of happening because the NFL is putting more rules in place for these things to continue or to not continue. And I just think it's just a bad thing for the league, man. I get player safety, but it's a line that between it takes the football out of football. And that's my spiel on it, bro.
And then you got to look at it from the college aspect. Like if they're not banning it on these all levels, like these guys gonna have to learn how to tackle again when they get into the league. Then you start talking about like it's gonna start affecting probably contracts because now I'm not making as many tackles in the season as I was before because of this dumbass rule, bro. So I don't know. If it was me, if I was part of the players union, I'd probably go to them folks and say, hey, forget them penalties. Keep doing what y'all doing. If it ain't like freak accidents are gonna happen, bro, but you can't like the drop tackle.
Come on, bro.
Go ban something else, but don't ban that. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. Like if I'm Fred, who the best linebacker league running? Like Fred Warner. If I'm Fred Warner, I'm leading that player.
I'm
like,
sitting on everybody.
Same whole time.
Like that's crazy. Yeah, man. Y'all in the comments, how y'all feel about it, man? Do y'all think it's the NFL actually making a safety adjustment, or is it just them making football too soft, bro? Let us know how y'all feel in the comments. We definitely want to hear what y'all got to say about these topics for sure. But moving on, man, to the NCAA tournament. We talked a little bit about it last week. And, bro, I think we may have jinxed our boy Cam Jones.
I was mad. I'm like, no, my boy Cam, get out of there. I was mad, fam. I don't know how we did that, man. I don't, because they were looking good all year. Marquette was my pick besides UConn. I'm like, they had top to bottom, they had guards, they had bigs, they had when they could defend. And that boy DJ Burns and NC State got them boys at it. And Cam was hooping. Cam dropped 20 last game. Shout out Cam.
Yeah, he doing his thing.
It's just couldn't make enough shots. But right now we're recording this. We usually record on Sunday. We're recording this on Saturday. And just today, UConn punched their ticket to the Final Four as expected. And Alabama also knocked off Clemson. A very good game also. If y'all caught that game. Very good game. And tomorrow, Tennessee and Purdue is playing. And Duke and NC State is playing. So I personally think Duke is finally going to put an end to NC State because I just feel like the talent gap is too wide.
Really?
And I honestly think Tennessee's going to knock off Purdue. I just think Tennessee just top to bottom is a better team.
Yeah.
And I think UConn's going to beat Alabama. And I feel like we're going to have a UConn and Duke national championship. And UConn will be cutting down the nets, be the second team since UConn in 2007 to go back-to-back. And that's what I think. So
we differ a little bit on the NC State thing, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. The way that they came out, I want to say it was yesterday, bro. Like, I was making a joke to my wife. I was like, bro, it looked like Wooddale was playing against like Collierville or something. Like they just some dogs who was just out there going against some like technically sound basketball players. But like it started off crazy. I think they went on like a 10-2 run to start the game, and then it ended up being at the halftime. I think they were down by like one. I'm like, what happened? But you know, they were able to pull it out. I just think that physicality. I think that dog mentality. I can't remember the name of the point guard, but the dude with the dreads, like
yeah, I know you're talking about.
I'm missing his name. God, man, this is gonna piss me off that I can't get this man a shout out. But loving to see what I'm seeing for him. That's that team overall, bro. I like what I see from him. And like you said, DJ Burns, it's just gonna be a cool story to see. We always rooting for the big guy, the Biggie Smalls, you know, the
Zach Randolph
type guys. That's bigger but tough, and you know, put that fear in other teams' eyes, man. So I'm looking at NC State. Really getting Duke up out of here because Duke.
DJ Horn. It's DJ Burns, DJ Horn. They both named
there
DJ.
You go. Both was DJ. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I think they're gonna get Duke up out of here. Duke is just too wishy-washy for me right now. And you know, I think them just playing the type of ball they've been playing, NC State's gonna get them up out of here. And I think you're gonna be looking at them, Tennessee, UConn, and then I'm missing. And who am I missing?
Alabama just won today.
But they play UConn, right?
No, UConn plays Alabama.
Oh, Alabama is going to the Final Four. Yes.
Yeah, UConn.
That's my four. That's my four right there.
Yeah, that's your four right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know who gonna come out of that. Probably UConn's gonna win it all. Probably.
Yeah. That's probably so.
The way
they went on a 30-0 run today. They went from a minute 29 in the game today. They went off a 30-0. That's like flipping a switch. That's the Lily definition of. They were up by 3 at halftime. They busted that lead out to 25 before they scored again. It was ridiculous. I was like, okay. After that, I was like, yeah, they can't be stopped, bro.
I was in line getting food, bro, and they, where I was at, I ain't gonna talk bad about them, but they was taking forever. But me watching that run, I was like, I don't care. Y'all just, hey, long as my stuff hot, bring it on back. I'm watching the game on my phone. So yeah, it was nuts. Shout out to UConn, future Grizzly, Donovan Clingan. I don't care what y'all say.
Nah, we gonna talk about that. We gonna talk about that. Whatever.
But yeah, y'all drop in the comments, man. What has been your favorite tournament moment so far? Definitely want to hear from you. And what's your thoughts on the tournament been so far? Last one, man. This Caitlyn Clarke situation. Had the internet in the frenzy. Had everybody in the frenzy.
Everybody going crazy. Everybody going crazy.
You had
even Tony Allen said something about this. Even TA said something about it.
I missed that.
TA was on Paul Pierce and KG podcast.
Okay.
Like a week, like when this happened, and Paul Pierce was like, "Hey, if she in the big three, is she dropping a bucket on you?" He was like, "Hell no, she ain't dropping no bucket on me." He said, "I played a big three, killer." He said that to Paul Pierce, and Paul Pierce like, she dropping a bucket on you?
Out of shape ass.
Tony was like, "Hell no," but I thought that was funny though. But yeah, I think people was up in a frenzy about this, and I don't think it's a problem. Like Ice Cube was a big fan. He's getting probably the most marketable women's basketball player in the world right now, and offer on the table.
Asterisk, most marketable basketball player coming out of college. And I mean, who else?
You're right. That's my bad. You are correct. You are correct. She is the most marketable basketball player in the world right now.
Right.
And Ice Cube wants to put people in the seats. So I would do the same thing. She probably not going to sign because who cares? But just to have that out there brings eyes to the big three. And I still watch the big three here and there just if I don't got nothing else on. Like it's cool watching Jason Richardson and Nate Robinson and Amari Stoudemire still trying to hoop, Stephon Marbury, like all these dudes still trying to hoop. But if she ends up playing, that's gonna be interesting. I don't think it'll happen, obviously. But if she does do it, it's great. I think she can hoop regardless. So I don't see a problem in it. Double. What you think about it?
Man, from the jump, I thought it was a genius move. Like, I'm big on entrepreneurship business. I try to ingrain myself in that kind of just in that world. Myself, it's very interesting to me. And it's something that, I'm trying to grow myself. And so like, I'm always looking at things from a different standpoint, not in like what's the word that they always use? Capitalism. I'm not going to say I'm like on that at all, cause I think that we gotta, help each other in a sense, but like from a just business marketing perspective, bro, just looking at it just through that lens. Yeah. It's smart. A genius move. Cause like I said, you name me a guy on the men's side or a player on the men's side that's more marketable right now than Caitlyn Clarke. You name me one on the women's side. Like you can say Angel Reese. You can say you can say that, but the only thing that I would kick back on that is that Caitlyn Clarke is literally like the Stephen Curry of college. Like take off men's and women's. Like she's pulling up from the logo, and there's nobody else on either side of the game that's doing that. Players like that, bro, they bring in a different era, a different generation of basketball players coming up behind them.
And the energy different, bro. The energy is so different with them, man.
You're gonna have little boys and little girls looking at Caitlyn Clarke and being like, damn, this is dope. Like, I really want to go hoop. Not saying that Angel and them won't, because they're gonna have a group of people that they're gonna get to come up behind them. But what I'm saying is the same way that Steph was able to captivate his following to the point of where it is, Caitlyn is on that trajectory. And 5 million, whatever he threw at her, like to the eyes that's gonna bring to the big three, it's gonna be people that would have never bought a ticket, never watched a minute of the big three, just to go sit in the seat or turn it on the TV to watch Caitlyn Clarke. And for $5 million, I don't care if it's 1 year or not. Like, I would advise Caitlyn to take that. I don't know her upbringing. I don't know her situation. I don't know if she grew up middle class, out of poor. I don't know if she grew up rich. I don't know. But $5 million, which came out to what? $500,000 per game, you're not even gonna make that in 1 year in the WNBA. If I take that just for those 10 games and still go play in the league, I'm fine. Like, and just looking at it, this last thing, and we'll get up out of here, man. Like, this was my thing from it, because people was talking about, Cube, the statement he made about it, coming from a standpoint of being, he's trying to advance women athletics, and they were questioning if it was genuine or not. And I can't say that I've heard him talk about trying to push the culture forward as far as women athletics before, but I say this: we get pandered to all the time.
That is true.
We get pandered to in our presidential elections, our local elections. We get pandered to with advertisements for food, for all kind of stuff, bro. And we seem to not have a problem with that. But the one time that a black man is trying to, if he is pandering, oh well, he's trying to grow his business and market his business. Now we're gonna sit here and be in an uproar and try to, man, like, let's stop, bro. We can find anything and everything to complain about. This right here, I'm letting this man rock. If this goes through, great business move, and I'm gonna move on. Like, we ain't gotta be mad and be offended by everything, bro. Because this is business, and if it make dollars, it makes sense.
No, and you couldn't say it any better than yourself. I agree with everything you said, and I think it's a good move. And this, when you said that, it brought this to my mind. During All-Star Weekend, what was the most viewed portion of All-Star Weekend? Sabrina versus Steph during the 3-point contest.
The biggest event.
That was the mark everybody was talking about. We saw a very talented women's basketball in Sabrina that can shoot the cup off the ball, playing against the best shooter in the planet in shooting, and it was captivating. That she can, in the same rim, Caitlyn Clarke will bring that to WNBA, and she could possibly bring that to the Big Three if she decides to. You telling me even next year that people not gonna want to see Caitlyn Clarke and Dame Lillard in a 3-point contest?
Right.
People gonna want to see that because she's gonna be a global. She's getting to the point where she's gonna be a global sensation, especially if she mess around and wins this year, the NCAA tournament this year.
Right.
Her star power is gonna go through the roof. So we, as you can see, we are all in support of it. We think it's a good thing for women's basketball, Caitlyn Clarke, and the Big Three. I think all parties win this situation. So, like Chris said, people start complaining about stuff. Yeah. We good.
This one ain't black and white. This one ain't man versus woman. It's really just about the money at the end of the day, bro.
Straight like that, man.
Period. So, before we get to our first break, man, we're going to go ahead and stop and go ahead with the No Bluffin Player of the Week, which is going to lead us into our first topic, but we're going to take a commercial break before then. But, man, we just want to give this guy his flowers for coming back, man. Brandon Clarke, bro. Shout
out BC, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out BC.
How you feel about it?
Yeah, we gonna get into it more, but I just like to see Brandon Clarke back on the floor, bro. As simple as that. Like, I've been so sick of seeing him in street clothes for the past year in his Jeff Hardy outfits, in his vampire athlete outfits. But yeah, I just like seeing VC back on the floor. He seems he still have a pep in his step a little bit. It's just more pieces to the puzzle that we're gonna try to build next year. Anything that we can see now that we can plug into the next season, I am all game for. So BC, he's looked pretty good. I love what I've been seeing. We still need a BC dunk. He still hasn't dunked in his first 2 games. That's all I want to see next. But other than that, I don't got nothing to say. Shout out BC 15.
Yeah, man. I don't know what was going through his brain against the Magic. The man had a wide open dunk.
Laid it. I'm like, bro, what? I'm like, laid the ball. I'm like, what you doing, BC? Like, because then on rebound, I'm like, you get up high enough on rebounds and dunk the ball. Like, it's like you can't get up there. I saw you windmill like in warm-ups like 2 games ago. Right. What's going on, fam? But
it's up here. If you ever had an injury, man, it takes you some time to trust it. So shout out to BC just coming back, having a consistent week. Like I said, we're gonna get more in depth into the Brandon Clarke conversation on the other side of the break, man. But definitely had to go ahead and give him his flowers as the No Bluffin Player of the Week. Salute to him. So that's all we got, man. The No Bluffin News, another good week of just topics to chop it up about, man. But before we get into the Brandon Clarke topic, the first topic of the day, we're gonna come with our first commercial break. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back.
Let's operate on the idea that they do win this tournament, get into the field of 68. What does that do to your perception of this year?
Nothing.
But I think winning it would be a soft landing for Penny and like the staff.
Absolutely.
And for everybody, because I think even if they win, for me, it's still a disappointing year. I think a lot of people in this fan base would be like, oh,
they still made it.
They still made it. He did what he promised, yada, yada, yada.
And we know what could have been this year and what ultimately will not be because of the deficiencies that this team had and the way that they were constructed. This is the biggest what if team that I
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Sometimes Penny gets questions that I wish Penny would be like, it ain't nothing, man. It wasn't nothing. We're focused on the tournament, whatever. But Penny went into this whole spiel yesterday about a post that he had, basically talking about like stuff not being good enough, and then he gets asked about it. He's like, well, man, people, they won't be fired and all these type of things. And I'm like, Penny, like you literally have been reading Facebook. Like, you know what I mean? Like you literally been reading Facebook, bro. But I don't know what that was last night. Kind of creating an invisible enemy, a pretend enemy of this coalition that wants him fired or whatever. And I'm like, dude, it's all Facebook talk, man. Like you don't have to be there, Penny. Like not only does Penny Hardaway not to have to stick his nose in there, I don't really think he is sticking his nose in there. I think people are bringing these things to him.
Absolutely.
And if those people in your circle, you probably need to get those people out of your circle.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the No Bluffin podcast. Man, glad to go ahead and get back to this next topic, or the first topic of the day. But before we do that, like we always say, man, go ahead and give us a follow on Twitter at the No Bluffin Pod, and you got me and Evan's handles as well right there. How you pronounce that? It's Cribman. I know some people like Chairman or what is that? That's a high school. That's a high school nickname that my boy D-Man. He was my quarterback at Wooddale. Shout out to him, man. Hope you're doing well, bro. And it just kind of been, it's stuck since then, man. So I ain't really changed it. I'm sticking with it. Shout out to him. But yeah, make sure you give us a follow on Twitter, man. We definitely chop it up on about some things on there as well. We can always chop it about how you feel about the show too. Some of the things we talk about. Mm-hmm. So definitely go ahead and tap in. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and talk about this whole Brandon Clarke returning thing. He been out for a year, almost a little bit over a year to date from the situation where all hell broke loose with the Grizzlies. If y'all, we lost him to a Achilles. Then we lost Ja to just naked women and alcohol and whatever else was going on that night. And then we lost Steven Adams. I don't know what happened with that situation, but
it was the final was coming after Ja did that. Everything went to crap after that. Everything went downhill after that, bro. I love Ja. He said it. I still stand by it. I love the confidence, but after he said that, everybody got hurt. Yeah, I got suspended. So looking on the side of that now.
Yeah, man. So a year removed, a lot has changed. Steve-O is no longer on the team no more. Ja came back and he gone again. But BC back. So we got a little something to be excited about for the simple fact just these last couple of games. See how he can integrate into the team. Get a look at him just to see how his fit is going to be. He gets to kind of, see him next to Gigi. I was hoping to see him next to Gigi, Vince, maybe Marcus too. As well as if y'all didn't notice already, they did announce that Derrick Rose and Zaire probably ain't coming back for the rest of the season.
Nah, yeah.
I wasn't surprised. You probably could have added Smart and Vince to that too, but we'll see what happens. But I definitely want to kind of just get a look with as many guys as we could going into the offseason, just to say, hey, we got a couple of game minutes together, and we'll kind of know how we want to move in the offseason, how we want to add to this team and things like that. But man, just talk about like I said, we hit on it a little bit, but just going a little bit more in depth about seeing BC back out there, and then just going forward, like going into the offseason, the next season, what's your expectations for BC is getting back in the fold with this team, hopefully making a championship or a deep run in the playoffs next year.
Based on what I've seen over BC, I was kind of concerned to see if he still had the little energy or that jump in his step. He seems to pretty much have it there. He doesn't have like the above the rim stuff yet, but I feel like that's more, like we said, more of a mental thing rather than like a physical capability. So like today, I believe he had 13. He had 13, 4, and 3 today. pretty solid day for BC. He was getting his hands in pass lanes, deflecting balls, getting his hands on loose balls. He was deflecting jump shots and all that. Like, he looks like BC. He looks like BC. But it's kind of, you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt with what he's not doing, because he doesn't have his best facilitator, John Moran, on the floor.
Right.
BC, like, he looks good as it is, but everyone knows he looks best when John Morant's on the floor and they can run that pick and roll game, high low action and all that. So that's what I saw from BC. Like I said, I'm waiting on the dunk. I don't know why you don't want to dunk, BC. Why? That was your thing, BC. That's your thing, to dunk the ball. But 2 points is 2 points. But I do think he's gonna need a whole offseason to really get his legs back under him. So if he whatever he does this for these next 10 games, 9 games, I just think it's a plus. I just want to see him just being him, going to next year to have a whole offseason, being healthy, rehab, training camp and all that. And then I feel like next year he'll be maybe the second, third dude off the bench to be that guy to help lead the second unit, to really help us get into a deep run next year. So I've liked what I've seen.
Yeah. So tell me this, like I've heard people, and we talked about it before, I believe, on here, but people have talked about the possibility of Jaren being the center going forward. Like, we have all these conversations about, man, we got to go into the summer and sign us a center. We got to, maybe draft a center, whoever your person is or whatever. But it is a section of Grizz fandom that believes that the Grizzlies are probably going to be looking at BC probably being the starting four, maybe guarding more centers than anything, but being the starting four with Jaren to the 5. Now, me personally, I don't agree with going that route, but just what's your thoughts on that? Because it's a possibility. It's so many things that this team can do this offseason, but with that being a possibility, you're paying them $15 million a year. What's your thoughts on that? Is that something that you would even explore? Or are you kind of like me, like, man, we just don't even waste our time on that?
No. Like, I don't get the whole Jaren at the 5. I don't get the whole having BC and Jaren as your front court. Yeah, because we're lacking size and rebounding. And what do you need to win a championship? Size and rebounding.
That's a fact.
Like, BC, he's a good rebounder off of like tenacity and energy and athleticism. But he is a great like positioning, controlling the boards type of guy. No. And we've talked long and hard about how Jaren is rebounding. So unless you want another series where we're getting killed on the boards 30-15, that's not the way to go. But can BC come off the bench and move better than those slower second string beings? Yes, because that's what his role is best suited as. He can play, he can close a lot of games, and he has closed a lot of games. And I expect him to be that next year, playing with Tripp. But as a starter, I don't see that at all.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the closing minutes is fine. We starting to get players that I would almost even look at putting over them. Like it's hard, bro. Like the way that this year is just unfolded, it shows you that having the more versatile players is possible on this team is what's going to propel us further. And we talked about it before, last week, talking about the development of this team. Even watching him when he's back, I can't, obviously you don't want to be too harsh on him because he is just coming back off of Achilles. But BC's skill set is BC's skill set. That's not going to change. He's been doing physical therapy and training and stuff like that to get his legs better and stronger and things like that. If you was to tell me that BC, while he's been working on getting his legs stronger, that he's been working on ball handling and shooting, I would probably bet against that.
Yeah, for sure. Nah, that ain't happening.
So, and then again, we're talking about a long offseason where, again, it's going to be one of those things where he's trying to put in the most effort, time, and energy towards getting his legs as strong as possible, because they talk about it being, a full length, 2-year recovery time on that thing. He's back now, but you may not be the same. You may not see the same BC till we're talking about going into post All-Star break, going into the playoffs next year. So, it's just one of them things, man, where it depends on who we're playing, definitely matchups and things like that. But the Grizzlies are going to have a decision to make. I just hope that's the one that they decide to go away from as far as starting him, because you got way better options to fill this team out for sure.
Yeah, and I agree. And I honestly don't see him, even at full strength BC, I don't see him getting the same minutes or the same roles that he had during the 2021-2022 season. So people need to get that out of their minds now.
Yeah.
He may be physically the same BC, but in the same role, the same play time of minutes and the same like maximizing of his abilities, probably not. Like during that 21-22 season, he was like a 25-minute game guy, right? 25,
Max.
30 if he really pushing it. I see him as a 15 or 20 on this team next year. Full strength, I see him as a 15 or 20-minute guy.
Mm-hmm.
Come in, get you about 10 points and 7 rebounds, 6 rebounds, get a few lobs, get a few tips out. That's what I do love about BC. He's in great position to get tip outs for extra possessions. He's great at that. Get some energy going and sit down the bench and sub in. If Jaren get another foul, put you in for good another 5 minutes and get you out. That's what I see BC going for. I don't see him as a trade. As some people say maybe trade him. I don't. I still think having another big in the rotation is good. Unless you just get a great alternative. Right. That's another guy I just want to see on the team because you can never have too many bigs that you can rotate and give you serviceable minutes. So that's where I stand on it. But I've liked what I've seen this year. I still would just want to see how he is with a full offseason so he can really play with the Vinces and the Smarts and the Trips and the GGs and all that. So that's what I really want to be. But with the core guy, I know he knows how to play with Ja. I know he knows how to play with Dez. So I'm not really worried about them guys. But he's not going to be starting. So I really want to see how he operates with the bench unit. So see like how those actions kind of work. And, of course, if Taylor Jenkins, we ain't going to talk about the title we talked about last week, but if he knows how to operate it correctly with multiple bigs in the lineup, then we can really see how Brandon Clarke can really expand his game because he's not going to be shooting 3. He tried to shoot a 3 today. I only said, don't shoot it, and he shot the 3. I remember the 3. It was in the corner. It was the right corner. I was like, he finna shoot it. Shot it, and I was like, damn. We don't need you shooting, BC. I understand you're trying to be versatile. That's not your thing, bro. But if you keep doing your thing, you're going to be straight. And if Taylor Jenkins figure it out, we're going to be straight.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, the money that he makes, $15 million for that. You got Nas Reed up in Minnesota making 12. Love BC though. Love BC, man.
We do love BC though.
I'm not knocking it all. It's just one of them things. Like I said, this team is primed.
Bang for your buck,
I mean, we primed to make a run, bro. Like I truly do believe that. And, it's one of those things to where if it comes to a situation where you got to put that money in a deal to bring back, the max value to maximize Ja, Dez, Jaren, and whoever else is going to be here, BC, Vince, whoever for that long term, bro, you got to do it. And so, either way, like I said, BC is one of them guys I would love to see here long term, hoping he gets well for sure. And we see him back to his normal, talent level, skill level that we've seen the past couple years, because we're going to need as much as we can. That's for sure.
For sure. We need all hands on deck next year. And please, Jesus or God, whoever y'all believe in, we believe in.
Whoever you pray to.
Please no more freak accident, because BC got hurt in a freak accident off of just trying to get he missed
the free throw. Walking, wasn't it? Like what?
No, he missed the free throw. He tried to get his rebound and his Achilles popped out of place.
That's wild.
Ja missed his just off of stretching. Steve-O, even though he's not on the team no more, he messed with off of hitting his knee on the ground. Dez just messed up his toe because it's Desmond Bain.
Toes, ankles, backs, and bang. Goddamn, Dez.
Please, no more freak accidents next year. We don't need any more freak injuries next year, because if we're fine, we're gonna win a championship. And
you left out one important one too.
Yes,
Marcus Smart dislocating his finger, shooting the ball.
Shooting a jump. I don't know how I missed that one. That was crazy. Dude made the shot. He put the 3 like, oh, my finger broke. Like,
yeah, that's wild. Go back and watch that if y'all don't remember that.
Like, bro, it was the game against Dallas. I think it was the game against Dallas, right? Yeah, it was Dallas.
That's game, bro. Yeah,
last game against Dallas. He made the 3. He said, oh my God, my fingers. That's a crazy way to mess up. As a person that's dislocated, normally you feel that right after normally. That's all. Please, no free accidents, and everybody on healthy. I can guarantee y'all, we are gonna at least go to the conference finals, probably go to the NBA finals, and probably win the championship. But shout out BC for sure. We love to see you. Love to see you back in the. Stay healthy, bro.
That's it.
Can't change your outfits, but other than that, stay healthy, fam. That's all we need.
Hey, if it gets slow this summer, man, that's gonna be crazy. That man, I feel say we had to start doing a fit check or fit rates or whatever. But nah, I ain't got time for that. That man, he definitely on the list of being on the bottom though. That's for sure. Cause that man, he be out there tripping with them outfits, bro. I'd be like, what is BC got going? Just come to the game in a Nike Tech suit or something.
That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do.
Yep. Well, man, we're gonna go ahead and go to this last break of the day so we can get to this last topic of the day. So y'all hang on with us. We'll be right back on the other side of this break. We'll catch y'all in a second.
Let's operate on the idea that they do win this tournament, get into the field of 68. What does that do to your perception of this year?
Nothing.
But I think winning it would be a soft landing for Penny and like the staff.
Absolutely.
And for everybody, because I think even if they win, for me, it's still a disappointing year. I think a lot of people in this fan base would be like, oh,
they still made it.
They still made it. He did what he promised,
right.
Yada, yada, yada.
And we know what could have been this year and what ultimately will not be because of the deficiencies that this team had and the way that they were constructed. This is the biggest what if team that I
Tune into On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all, we back. We had a little quick technical difficulty to take care of, but I think we good. Look, we be battling them sound issues, man, but we good,
bro. They don't want to see us win, fam. They don't want to see us win, bro.
But guess what we gonna do? We gonna win.
We're gonna win. Simple as that, bro. Simple as that.
Man. Yes, sir. Yeah, we back on the other side of the last break of the day, man. We're gonna jump into this last topic. And we kind of did like a little audible. We had something else we were gonna talk about, but this kind of coincides with this as well. So we'll try to kind of add it in there in a sense, in conversation. But really just kind of talking about this draft pick situation, man, because it constantly is changing. If you would have
every week,
bro, if you would like, I remember a couple months ago, I was like, man, team trade the pick. I don't, man, you like last year, I didn't want to draft nobody. I was team F them picks. Then we ended up with GG, and then one day I'm gonna go ahead and clip that reaction so y'all can see my reaction of us drafting GG. It was gold, content gold for sure. But we got GG, and I was excited. But man, after that, I was like, again, team F them picks. Like, let's go get a veteran on this team, whatever the case may be. But then it started creeping up, and they started getting a lottery pick.
And then he started watching the tournament. He was like, "Oh, okay." Then he started watching some more college basketball. He's like, "Oh, okay. Is that some good people in this one?"
Yeah. We can see. We can talk. And then other players that you may have thrown out that you think you want to add to this team, add to this core, and things like that. Situations just start changing, man. Guys either become untouchable or guys become very available. It's just it changes so much, so it's hard to have a concrete answer. But the closer and closer we get, hopefully, we'll be kind of settled in. At least for me personally, I know for me. But man, I think now at this point, I have moved to the point where I want to, unless a certain situation happens, I think I'm moving towards staying in the draft, man. So, what's your thoughts on this whole, should the Grizzlies trade the pick and try to bring in a veteran, whether it be another, bigger wing that can play the four, or do they just go get a center? Or would you just say, look, let's just go ahead and take the pick? What's your thoughts on that whole situation?
I'm still team trade that pick. I've always been team trade that pick. And that's simply because I don't like the idea of adding a young piece or a young rookie to a championship contender team and throwing that rookie to the fire. Mm-hmm. It has worked sometimes, but the one that comes to my mind is the Cavs trading Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love, and see how that turned out for them. They got a championship out of it. Mm-hmm. Like, do you think Andrew Wiggins probably could have figured out and played with LeBron, but they didn't need an Andrew Wiggins right now? And you see how his career ended up. He still ended up having a pleasurable career because of that. Mm-hmm. I think it works good for the player who gets drafted. It's better for a young 18, 19-year-old kid to go into a better situation where it's not that much competition, not that much pressure on him and all that. And then off the franchise, it takes the pressure off of you to try to either throw this 18, 19-year-old into the fire that he probably isn't ready for. He's probably not a lot of 18, 19-year-old kids are ready for championship level basketball coming out of college. And then it takes pressure off the franchise to try to either rush their development or stunt their development, no matter the situation. Depends on the situation because of that. So that's why I am team trade the pick. And I have 3 categories of like guys of like I have one category of like perfect situation. These I'm finna give you 6 players. One category is perfect situation, but probably not gonna happen. Second one is best case scenario that we could see us doing. Third is we just got to get somebody. If we can't get the first 4, these are the guys that
leave here with something.
Gave us something. So my 2 guys perfect fit, but that's not gonna happen is Bam Adebayo and Evan Mobley. I think that's not happening. I feel like Evan Mobley would play perfect against Tripp. And he fits our trajectory with time wise. He's a young. He's like 20. He's 21 years old. 22. Yeah. That's not gonna happen. But you know, you dream. You know.
Yeah.
The other 2, Nick Claxton, Isaiah Hartenstein. We both talked about them extensively on this podcast. I feel like those guys would fit perfectly with us, especially Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton is still my number 1 guy. He's young, but he also has experience enough. He's played with, and that thing about that, guys that have played with high level guys can go a long way. He's played with James Harden. He's played with Kyrie Irving. He's played with Kevin Durant. He's played with Mikal Bridges. Yeah, guys that know how to play with elite players can always plug themselves in no matter what. Isaiah Hartenstein, very solid, big, all that, and he's still young too, so he still have a few more years of both of them. The last 2. They're like, hey, you can't get nothing. Got to come up with something. It's Andre Drummond and Clint Capella. Andre Drummond, solid big, you know. Hey, he's been leaving for a long time. You know, he's serviceable. Clint Capella, if we trade for him next year, he'll be on an expiring deal next year. He's making $20 million next year, which isn't favorable, but hey, it's not terrible. You know, it's an expiring deal. That's just kind of like a all-in type move. Right. Hopefully we get him, and hopefully he gets a championship. So it's really. It's a low risk, it's low risk high reward in that type of situation. So those are the people that are my targets, and I'm team trades and pick. But how you feel about that? Which side of the fence do you lie on?
Well, before we do that, I want to ask you a question about your list. Like you said, the first one ain't happening. Yeah, I'm on the record saying like Bam is the guy. I mean. People may say it's too much, man. I may trade that first pick and Jaren to get back. I don't know. Like he's just the perfect fit, bro. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like a guy that's a center, can rebound, can play make, high IQ, can defend at a high level, should have a DPO out on his jacket. He just don't. Bam is the perfect compliment. I'm sorry. He just is.
Yeah, he is.
He is. But of those 2 other tiers that you got, which one do you think gets you close to a championship?
Definitely the second one. Best case scenario that we should trade for. Like I don't think I don't think Andre Drummond or Clint Capella puts us over the hump. But I do think a Nick Claxton or Isaiah Hartenstein does get us over the hump. And so that second tier is where we should be. If we get Andre Drummond, Clint Capella, we need another move. We need like maybe just one more piece, one more guy just to give us a little more edge. I feel like with Nick Claxton and Isaiah Hartenstein, our ceiling is NBA Finals and championship. With Andre Drummond, Clint Capella, I think Conference Finals is our ceiling. And that's the difference right there.
But hold on, I just thought about it. They free agents, so you're not saying trade the pick for them, right? For Hartenstein and Claxton.
Oh yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, I feel like that'd be like a sign and trade. That'd be like a sign and trade.
Yeah, you keep your pick.
Yeah, you can keep it. Hey, you could.
So are you team keep the pick or are you team trade the pick?
I guess in that case, I'll be team keep the pick. Because Chris just got me with that one. If that's the case, I'm keen. Yeah, damn, I guess I'm team. I guess
here's the thing though, because I don't know how this will work, but man, the Nets, they have a lot of serviceable role players, bro. And one of the ones that I've been waiting to get as a Grizzly for a long time is Dorian Finney-Smith. I don't know how you work that out, it's because I think you can only do 1-for-1 on a trade, sign and trade. I may be wrong. But if you can work out a separate deal or something and say, hey, man, we'll take 2 of y'all players off your hands. We'll take XYZ. Maybe we can do the Nick Claxton thing in the sign and trade, or maybe you give us somebody else and a DFS. Like that's when I think that pick maybe comes into play, because now you're getting back more value just in a 1-for-1, or like you said, a sign and trade.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I say this, I was definitely team trade the pick, but the more you just landscape the league, bro, it's one of them things where it's like, who are we gonna get? Like, if it's not a Mikal Bridges, I don't know who else I'm gonna grab, honestly, with that pick. And then we talk about centers, it's not really a lot of centers that's out there that I would add to this team that, you're going to need a certain amount of money to match and things like that. So I think that when it comes down to that, bro, I'm going to strictly say make that pick.
Yeah, logistically keep the pick. Yeah, like we really lay it out, really see what we can actually get in return. Keeping the pick may be the best. And I get that. I get that for sure.
And Donovan Clingan, like I said, I've been a Khalil Ware guy for the longest, but the thing is, unless you can trade back and get more assets, which is a possible thing, like we thinking that they may stay in the top 7, but they could very well trade back, get some more players or something on the other deal, get some more picks, things like that, and still go Khalil Ware. But if they decide to stay in that top 7, I want to say it was the Athletic or somebody like that. They put a mock board out there, and they had him at 7, which I don't think we're gonna stay. I think we will jump up in the lottery. But if we just stay right there, they got us picking Donovan Clingan at 7. And I think with what we need, I put a tweet out, the other night, man, just saying, like, I don't know what it looks like, but what's the 100% negative of him starting next year when all you want him to do is set screens, rebound, and, maybe do a little playmaking, just getting the ball out of his hands. He's got a high IQ. You want him to do bare minimum things. I don't see that as a problem, but if he can't translate, then obviously you got to have a backup plan. I say make that pick, man, and we just see what we got from there at that point. That's just kind of where I'm at on it.
Yeah, man. I don't think that's a bad take. The only reason I say I'm kind of iffy on Clingan because it's just big. You put a young big like that into the league, and that it takes him a few years. It takes him a few years to kind of get used to physicality. If he can adjust to physicality early, then I'm all for it. That's why I'm a little iffy because I'm a very much draft for need type of guy. I'm not a draft best player available type of guy. So we need a big. So if we do draft a big, it's going to be a learning curve he's going to have to do to really adjust to the league. If he gets there, fine. But I just think it could be kind of iffy for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. That draft best player available. Why would I get Dillingham if he's on the board? If I got Ja Morant, why would I get? And I love Reed Shepherd. I'm kind of even going against that at this point. Like just adding guards or adding. If they not taking me over the top, what's the point? It's situations. It's situational. But at this point, we know we need a center. Let's go grab a center, man. So let us know in the comments, man, what you are. Are you team trade? Are you team no trade? And let us know why. We want to see, what your thoughts are, which way you would go on it. And then if you got a guy that you want to go, that you would say adding to the Grizzlies is perfect, dream match made in heaven, let us know who that would be, So that's pretty much on that, man. Before we get out of here, Evan, we got the record for the week, man. We got 4 games coming up next week. We got at Pistons, at Bucks, and then we got 2 homers at the Pistons again, and then we got the 76ers, which is the game they're going to be retiring Mark Gasol's jersey. I will be in the building for that one, man. So what you got for next week?
Number we flanked out last week. We thought we was going 2-1. We went on 3 last week.
So
we was bad on that. But I think we're gonna split. I think we're gonna go 2-2. I think we're gonna get the Pistons twice. And we're gonna lose to Bucks 76ers. Yeah. Simple as that.
Give us 1-3. We may get one of them Piston games. Hopefully the one at home, because we've been losing like a mug at home this year. They've been real deal tripping. But yeah, at this point, I guess it's Tankathon 2024. Let them do their thing, bro.
Just straight like that.
I definitely want to peep what James Wiseman looks like. That is a very sneaky possible pickup the Grizzlies can look into on the cheap. On the cheap,
yeah.
Because he's not going to be commanded. Yeah, bro.
Bring him back home, yeah.
He's going to be on a proven deal. Yeah. He's going to be on a proven deal next year for sure. So just a sneaky one that we can add maybe some depth to. But we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, man, that's pretty much all we got today. A quicker show than we did last week. Evan, we made it up under the hour, bro. I don't know how we did it, but we did it though.
We did it though, bro. We did it.
Oh man. So look, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all tap in and give us a follow on all our socials. Evan dropped out, but it's all good. We had some, like I said, had a little technical issues today, but we good. We're gonna fix this stuff and have it rolling for y'all. Coming soon. But anyway, yeah, make sure y'all tap in, like, share, subscribe, follow all of the pages where we're on our socials, Bluff City Media, the No Bluffin Pod, my social, Evan's social, everybody's social. Everybody just get a follow, man. Make sure y'all tap in, and we'll definitely be back next week with some more fire content for y'all. We appreciate you. Be safe out there. And as always, man, go Grizz. We'll catch y'all next week.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the No Bluffing Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of all things Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.